guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have my very first October daily video for you. I've been filming them constantly and I just had some technical difficulties getting these first few edited. I don't need to tell you the whole story, but it just took some time. So now I have a bunch ready to go. They should be posting one after the other. And yeah, there should be a lot to watch this week. So I'm excited to share this with you. This album has been really fun for me. It's my first time working in the Traveler's Notebook size, and it's also my first time doing a daily album or an October daily album. So I'm really excited about it. I'm having a lot of fun. I already feel like I'm probably going to want to do a daily album for November, maybe something gratitude themed, so we will see. But this is just the beginning of my album. I used the items from my haul, if you guys watched my Spellcast haul. Just some of those 12 by 12 papers and then black and white cardstock to make my own traveler's notebook. And I used a method that I saw Dearly D post, so I will link that below for you guys. And it was pretty easy to make, but I like that it's allowing me to use my papers no matter what, because I feel like sometimes I buy a pretty paper and then I, don't really cut it up or use it or whatever, and so I love that right off the bat doing it this way is allowing me to use those papers fully. So it's been really fun, and I think that the black and white papers interspersed is making it a little easier to do journaling and include different things to where it's not super patterned all the time, but I think it's going really well and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So the first 2 days of October, we were in New York City on our vacation, and so I'm just going to put the first 2 days together on these first 2 pages. During that time, we saw Wicked, and we went to some bookstores and went to Top of the Rock, just to kind of take in the view of the city, and so I wanted to kind of talk about how it actually felt like fall in New York, because here in Kansas it was still quite warm at that time, and just kind of say some of the things that we did while we were there. I have a travel album as well, so I didn't need this to be super thorough, but I just kind of wanted to practice journaling kind of what we did on that day for the rest of the album. And I'm using this pen. I can't remember off the top of my head what type of pen it is, so I will link it below. I have a lot of different gold pens that I've used for lettering and addressing envelopes, so I'll link it below. It's a little bit testy throughout the videos, mostly probably because it's like 2 years old. It's not a new pen, but I think it actually works really well on this paper for the black pages and doing the journaling there. So I'm pretty pleased with how it worked out. The stamp that I stamped in white is from Kelly Purkey's NYC stamp set. I knew I wanted to purchase that for my travel documenting, so I just went ahead and used it first here. You can see on the second page I've added my photos from the trip as well. One of the skyline at sunset, or after the sun has almost set, and then a picture of a book that I bought at one of the bookstores. This kind of got, a ghost story theme, just because I felt like those were very seasonally appropriate for the album, and it represents what we did in those days. I'm trying not to be too picky with whatever ends up happening on a given day and just documenting it as it is and just kind of going with the flow, because, I don't need to filter or gear what I do in a day towards this album. But in the same way, it is actually doing the opposite and having me think each day about the things that I've done and helping me participate more fully in the season and the holidays. So it's kind of funny. It works both ways, definitely. I'm using my Kelly Purkey label stamp, and you might have seen on that paper I just went ahead and stamped it a bunch of times in a row. I did one stamp to where it was fully orange, and then I did a second stamp where it's kind of a lighter orange, so I'm just going to use all of them throughout this video and then make more as needed. And I'm just using my Heidi Swap date stamp as usual to fit the date in there and then cutting it in half for the second day. These little pieces of ephemera are also from the Spellcast line. They are all in my haul video, which I will link below, and I will also link the specific items below for you guys. I add some numbering here on this page, but I don't think I do it during this part of the video. I might go back to it, but if I don't, you'll see it in the final pictures. It's pretty simple, but I've been trying to add the date and the day of October in each page or spread or whatever, just because that's one of the fun things about daily documenting. On the second page here, we had gotten back from New York, but we were not going back to work yet, and so when I saw this sorry not sorry card, I knew that I needed to use it on the spread because we were sort of doing a staycation thing. I'm using these acetate numbers from Pink Paisley. They're from the Sale of V line, I think. Excuse me, I'll link them below, but they are kind of bubbly looking, and so I wasn't sure if they were just too old or what was going on, but it's actually just like a cover to protect the acetate, so it comes off if you just kind of scratch at it a little bit. I'm trying out the washi tape here, but I don't really love it in that spot. And here I'm doing the same thing with the ampersand. I just got this Zig Rider glue pen from Michaels, and I was just wanting something that would help me adhere things that were kind of an awkward shape or that, you know, it didn't work very well to use the adhesive strips with. And I absolutely love this glue pen because it writes like a ballpoint pen, but it shows up blue so you can see where it is and you can get all those little tiny pieces that like hang off of something you're adhering so you don't, like, it doesn't get bent up or anything like that. I wasn't sure if it was going to stick to the photo or not, but it actually did. I didn't have any problems with it. I just kind of held them down after I stuck the photo down so that way they would have time to sort of adhere. And it doesn't dry blue, it dries clear, which is awesome. So yeah, like that 4 did pop off there in the beginning, but after that it stays put and it dried really well and it's still completely adhered to the page. I haven't had any problems since it dried, so I highly recommend the pen and I will link it below. They are not paying, no one is paying me to say that, I just really like it, so I figured I would share that with you guys. Again, just getting ready to do my date stamp, and this one is for 2 days, so I think I'm just going to put them next to each other rather than 2 separate pieces. And today I'm using, or for this project I'm using those Memento sort of teardrop tiny inks because at least right now I'm not doing anything that requires stays on ink. Yeah, I haven't been really stamping on slick surfaces just yet, but these inks are working really well, and it's always fun to use a little bit of colored ink because usually I feel like I'm using black or gray. So, yep, just still letting those acetate letters dry. I've put the date at the top, and I'm using these old beautiful Messy Box White Alpha to write Staycation here as a title, and I'm going to do something with the tag eventually. I was going to put the dates on it, but it didn't quite fit right, so we're just going with the flow. I've also found that with traveler's notebooks, using binder clips on the sides or the top and bottom helps to keep the pages more flat while you're working in it. It can be a little tricky depending on where you're placing things. You don't want the clip in the way, but I find that it works really well for the most part, just to use binder clips. I got these tags in New York at a stationery store. I think they're by like Knot and Bow. If I can find it, I'll link them. But it's just a pretty basic black tag, so I'm sure that you could make it or, you know, purchase something similar elsewhere. It was probably not a cost-effective option, but I saw it and I was really wanting to, you know, purchase something there that I could use in this album. I used a strip of the washi tape from the washi tape sticker pack that I got, and I'm just looking through other stickers from my haul. I'm going to find as I do these pages that it's a little hard sometimes to fully utilize all the different things that come in this set, because some of them just feel very specific and I feel like I'm being really literal with it. So it gets a little easier as I go, but yeah, it can be tough sometimes. I added a sticker there that says, ah. It's probably supposed to be, ah, like you're scared, but I thought it also works like, ah, staycation. And then I put some little stars there, and I'm just using some more words and stickers on the outside of the tag. And I love the little stars, but I use them so much, I'm pretty sure I'm almost completely out at this point. I do add baker's twine to that later, but not in this video probably because I hadn't gotten it out yet. I'm using the same pin here for day 5, and this was the day that we went back to work, and so I was trying to like focus on being positive even though I would love to have stayed home for more days. And I found this quote online and I thought it was really great, and it's about flowers, so it goes well with the flowers on the next page. I'm just using the same pen. Every once in a while, since it's kind of a paint pen, I have to test it on some other paper and kind of let the paint get down to the end, but I'm not having too many problems with it. Now I'm just going over the downstrokes again to make it look a little bit prettier, a little fancier. I'm kind of out of practice. I haven't been doing a lot of lettering recently, and it always makes my hands hurt. I don't know, I just have always had very weak hands, so every once in a while I have to kind of stop and take a break. But I'm really liking how the page looks. So far, I feel like every page that I've made has been different, and that's nice. I don't want every, you know, I don't want it to be like a repeating pattern of every few pages looking kind of the same in layouts. I think that's totally fine if that's what you wanted to do, but I was just wanting to play around and see how many different things I could come up with for this type of album since I haven't done it before. So now I'm just looking at the stickers again and basically just finding that I want to keep it kind of simple, so I don't think that I actually use any of them. I really love the floral with the spiderwebs paper though. I just think it's one of my favorites in the entire collection that I purchased. It's just really pretty. So literally checking every piece of ephemera and sticker that I purchased because I really want to use those pieces. So here I'm coming back a little bit later and I'm wanting to add the day that I'm doing here, but I'm forgetting that this is actually day 5 when I put this on here. So I think I remember at some point. These are just some thickers, and I don't think I've been able to find them anymore, but oh well. Now you can see I've come back and realized that it's day 5. But I'm all out of ease, which is a pretty typical problem, I think, with alpha, to run out of ease quickly. So I'm just doing the number 5, and I end up putting it in the top corner instead. And then I'm just kind of checking out what I did before. Maybe this is the part where I add the day on this page. These are some old alpha from, I think, Mombi or Mambi, I don't know how you say that. If I can find it, I will link them in. I just like the small alpha. I think they look really cute. So here you can see days 1 and 2. I love how those numbers look there on the second page. Really simple, but it still allows me to, you know, distinguish the day between the two pictures. I don't love how all the journaling looks. I feel like it's a little bit cluttered, but that's okay. I'm just experimenting and learning what I like and how to work in this size notebook. I really like this page quite a lot. I think that it came together really well, and I think it's probably because I kept it simple, so I'm sort of keeping that in mind as I go along. Again, the glue dried perfectly. You can't see any blue or anything anywhere. And I'm glad I found a spot for that card because I don't usually like cards with rounded corners. Here's a little bit of detail shot. You can see I added the twine there. And then here's our next page with the lettering, and I think that it turned out really cute. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much. Bye.